Hi everyone, I'm Merryana Salem. I'm a Lebanese-Aboriginal woman, specifically Wonnarua. I acknowledge that I live on stolen land, specifically Awabakal country, and welcome to GayV Club.
Hi, I'm Durr-e Adan Haque. I'm an Indonesian-Pakistani non-binary lesbian, and I'm currently on Gadigal land.
Hi, I'm Panda Wong. I'm a Malaysian Chinese settler. I'm currently living on the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Nice. All right, and welcome to GayV Club. We have a very special episode today.
Yes, we do. We're co-presenting with the National Young Writers Festival in a debate or discussion.
A very serious debate.
Yes, on whether Netflix or Stan has the best B-grade content.
Excuse you, it's not just Netflix or Stan, it's which streaming service?
Yes, which streaming service has the best B-grade content? And we're joined today with our very special guest, Panda Wong, who has already introduced herself. Thank you.
Yes.
Do you want to get started? Or
Yeah.
did you want to say anything more about yourself, Panda? Like, what's your favorite movie right now?
I also should preface that this is the first ever podcast I've recorded. So
oh, we're so blessed.
Exciting and scary. And so did you just say what's my favorite movie that I've just watched?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what's your favorite movie right now?
Right now, I just watched the short film on YouTube called The Kiss of the Rabbit God. Have you seen it?
Yes, by Andrew Huang.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I think I just watched it because I was like, I just want to be taken somewhere far away from where I am at the moment. It's so amazing. For anyone who hasn't watched it, it's a kitchen hand gets visited by the rabbit god, who is like the deity for forbidden love or queer lovers. And yeah, it's amazing. I can't give any more away because it's only 15 minutes and I would just spoil the whole thing.
I have briefly talked about this short film on the podcast before, so yeah, just reminder to everyone that hasn't seen it, go see it. It's on the Nowness channel. Yeah. Okay.
I shall have to watch it.
Do we want to start the discussion now?
Yes, please. Also, I just realized in my intro I didn't say that I was bisexual, but I figure our listeners will know. They should have known this by now.
They should know.
But yes, let's get started. Which streaming services are we all pledging our allegiance to for the sake of this debate?
Stan.
I'm gonna say Netflix, even though it's evil.
Well, I'm sure Stan is evil too.
You think you've got it bad? For this debate, I'm pledging my allegiance to Amazon Prime. So don't even talk to me about your options doing that.
It's gonna be spicy.
This debate is which service has the best B-grade content, not who pays the least taxes. Okay?
That's true.
Yes. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna. Who has a really strong opinion that they just have to say right now? I think that should get things started.
I have a strong opinion, and that is.
Oh, actually, would you like to first define like B-grade content for our audience?
Yes, I would actually, because that relates to my strong opinion, opening strong opinion.
Okay.
B-grade movies. So for a bit of history, which I looked up, B-grade movies were like originally just movies that studios made, like low budget with like nobody that anyone knew, that they could give to studios when they did a big release, so that if they ran out of tickets or seating for their like A-list movie, the cinema could be like, go and see this as well, like, or go and see this instead, and that would still bring them in money. Movie. Yeah, it's a consolation movie, and it got its name B-grade or B-list from like, because they were sort of like the B-side of a record. that's what I found like most the result of. So what I've decided in my research, which was very extensive, is that the only real difference that I can tell between a B grade and an A grade movie is the marketing.
Okay.
The only difference is that culturally, like something is marketed as an A grade movie or a B grade movie, but like the lines blur. Let's be real. And my final closing part of this strong opinion is that I do believe that the MCU is a B grade like franchise masquerading as an A grade franchise because it has the money to masquerade like that.
Cool.
That's my opening statement.
All right. Panda, did you have any thoughts on just how you would classify B grade content before we start?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any historical context as to what I classify as B grade, and a lot of the shows I've been watching are probably lower than B grade in most people's books. But just maybe something that you would watch that doesn't require that much of your brain, but you get a lot of satisfaction out of it. But in a year, you won't be thinking about it. It's a very specific definition that is only correct to me, I think.
No, that sounds very correct. Thank you. Okay.
All right, Dee. What's your opinion?
My opinion. Okay. So a B movie, not to be confused with the 2007 DreamWorks masterpiece B movie, is a low-budget commercial film that is not art house. So we had a talk about this yesterday. We were kind of talking about how there are certain genres that are considered B grade more than others, especially horror, especially science fiction and fantasy. And also LGBT, a lot of LGBT cinema, probably because no one wants to spend money on any of those things. So I think when we're looking at B grade content, I think you can sort it into two different categories. So the first categories is like movies that may have been like cheaply made, but they have a lot of heart. So everyone involved was like really passionate about the project and doing as much as they could with the resources they had. Even if it's considered too weird or mainstream for audiences. As legendary filmmaker Agnes Varda once said, nothing is trite if you film it with empathy and love. So I think that the second category of B-grade content is media that is shot without empathy and without love.
Wow.
Oh my God, beautiful.
Yeah.
Where would you put in those categories, or would it be a third category for like the films that I feel are intentionally like bad? You know, they are terrible with intention.
Second category.
But what if those films are made with love?
They're not, though. End of my argument.
You're like, they're not. Mic drop. Goodbye.
Yes. Okay. All right. Do you want to actually get into like the actual platforms and content now?
All right. Yes.
Yes. Who would like to go first?
Panda, I think you should go first. I was going to say, I think you should go first, Panda.
Don't feel like you have to like piggyback off anything I just said, because I just made that up.
Oh no, it was a really beautiful definition, and I'm kind of embarrassed to follow it up with that all of my examples today and all of my research surrounds real estate reality TV shows. And that is why Netflix is my favorite streaming service, because no other streaming service has as many real estate reality TV shows.
Okay.
Can you give us some examples of the top? Because I've never watched any.
Yeah, so there's actually, have you heard about Selling Sunset? It's kind of the main one that most people are into.
Selling what?
Selling Sunset.
Oh, no.
It's basically this bougie like real estate company called the Oppenheim Group, and they basically are based in Beverly Hills, and they sell real estate that is ridiculously expensive. Like Ellen DeGeneres has bought a house from them, Orlando Bloom. It's just like really next level and really ridiculous. It's like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but they sell houses.
Okay.
Like they have small dogs in the office. They had an open house once with like Botox and burgers, where they had like an actual nurse giving Botox at the open house.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like when I was watching it, I was like, I can't believe this is real life. And they just like, yeah, they just love selling houses, and I can't explain why I'm so drawn to it, but maybe I'll figure it out throughout this podcast why I'm so drawn to this genre of like intense privilege and just like people being kind of awful. But
maybe it's the fantasy of it, you know, like the total like the polar opposite ofness of it to your life.
I think that's true. I just like there's this character on it who I really love because she does things like she'll throw a birthday party and then she'll like hire a zebra, or she'll have like all these swans, which is so evil. Like it's so evil, but it doesn't feel like real life. And also like I'm not really participating in it, so it's okay for me to enjoy how extra it is. And she had like fake snow at her wedding, and everyone was just really upset because they were wearing like nice gowns and the fake snow was falling on their gowns and they were really cold.
Oh no,
the maximalism.
Yeah, that's a lot. That just made me think of that scene in Crazy Rich Asians where they get married and they flood the church, and I was just sitting there in the cinema like, everyone's just gonna get wet for what?
I love that common theme of like rich people just like it's like they're truly not empathetic. Like they're like, I would rather just have this one single moment that is really inconvenient for everyone else, but maybe I'll make like a good Instagram story, which I think is like the vibe.
I think that's why a lot of people like Succession, or shows like Succession, because it's kind of just about how like disgustingly rich people are.
Yeah, and I think that's why people also like movies like The Wolf of Wall Street and all of that. Like we just like being disgusted at the excess. Well, at least I'm disgusted at the excess. I know a lot of people who are like, "Oh my God, wouldn't that be sick?"
Goals.
Like,
no, totally. It's like almost cathartic to be like to watch it and be like, oh, that is disgusting. But I'm like, but I am also watching it in my room with like no pants on and just like eating snacks.
True. True. My dad, I thought my dad had hit a new low the other day, like of quarantine depression, because he was actually watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And my dad would never, I had to do like 3 double takes. Like, Dad, what are you doing? And he was like, "Oh, I'm watching the Kardashians." And I was like, "Why, Dad?" And he was like, "I just want to see what it's like." And I was like, okay. So yeah, I don't know. I think there is like that, I don't want to call it morbid fascination, but it's something along those lines.
Or maybe it's like the thought that's like, if I myself had that much money, I would not be this stupid. Or
yes.
Maybe,
yeah.
Or maybe it's the idea, it's like, damn, if I had this much money, I would be allowed to be this stupid, you know?
I know. You know that line in Parasite, like, oh, she's nice because she's rich. It's more like, oh, they're this stupid because they're rich.
Yeah.
Oh my God, absolutely.
I'm wearing my Parasite shirt right now.
Oh, nice.
Amazing. Let's see. Oh, I love it. Oh my God.
Okay, no one can see that, but my shirt says Jessica in the Child, Illinois, Chicago. Ugh.
The most iconic sentence.
Truly. But speaking of Parasite, which isn't B grade content, but I'll just say this because you know what? I'm just gonna argue that I'm just gonna turn this into a Stan is better than all the streaming platforms ones.
Oh,
Stan does
okay.
have Parasite. Stan does have Stan does have Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I had like plans of like to actually go through the B grade content that Stan has, but like since we're on this topic, sure. What else did I have ready? Also, I did want to is it cool if we move on? Because I did have another argument that was more like anti-Netflix, and I just want to see what you guys think of this. So Netflix has a whole category of what they call irreverent film and TV, and they've been using this label for a while. And even though I kind of knew what it meant, it was kind of only in preparation for this debate that I actually looked up the definition. So irreverent means showing a lack of respect for people or things that are generally taken seriously. So my first anti-Netflix pro-Stan argument, my first real one, is how can Netflix have like boast an irreverent catalog of B-grade content and not have any Greg Araki? Meanwhile, Stan has Now Apocalypse.
This is true.
Wow.
This is true.
So yeah, Now Apocalypse is very much one of those things that's it's like it is expensive, but it's Greg Araki is just one of those filmmakers that like he makes it B grade in like the weirdest way possible. It's like all his stuff is kind of made to alienate people.
It's like the
so it's like without empathy or love for the audience.
It's like the avant-garde of B grade is Now Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. Actually, Netflix does have some actually really good B grade Greg Araki content. I forgot. It's got those 2 episodes of 13 Reasons Why that he directed.
Classify the whole of 13 Reasons Why is B grade.
Oh my god, that show! I'm almost like ready to turn on Netflix now, thinking about that show.
No, oh no.
I do have a fun fact about Netflix because I just did a quick Google and I was like, I need to support my tenuous stance on this streaming service. And apparently someone watched Madagascar 3 352 times in 2017, which is almost every day in a year.
What? Who was that? Why?
And I'm like, there's 365 days in a year. What days did they not watch it on? I'm like, okay, Christmas, their birthday.
No, they watch it twice on their birthday.
Yeah, true.
Oh my gosh. What a legend. Honestly, like what is going on inside their head? I need to know. Oh. That's like there's this guy I follow on TikTok for the pure reason that he just collects Cat in the Hat DVDs, like the movie Cat in the Hat.
Oh my god,
amazing. And he just collects them, and like he only ever uploads a video when he's bought another copy of Cat in the Hat on DVD. He's just like, okay guys, today is a big day, and then he unbags it and he's like, woo, and he's got like 37 copies of it. And I just
amazing.
Maybe
I know.
Maybe the platform with the best B grade content is TikTok.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
TikTok is just like what happens when everything ceases to have context and people just take whatever they want and put it wherever they want. And like, I feel like half what I do on TikTok is go, where is this sound from? And then I look it up and it's from like, some of it's from Breaking Bad, some of it's from an obscure musical from like 2004. I don't know. It fascinates me. But no, I'm glad you proposed that, Dee, because I'm going to rebut that by saying that actually no, okay? Do you know who has the best B grade content? Is Amazon, baby.
Yeah, they have the Utopia remake coming out.
Yeah, they do. They have the Utopia remake, which is obviously B grade. But I want to I actually wrote this statement. Okay,
All
So
right.
on most platforms, B grades are either absent or they're like put in their own little category, like your so-called irreverent films. Okay, but on Amazon Prime is the great equalizer, placing so-called A grade films like such as Knives Out, for example, alongside such B grade masterpieces as Earth-tastrophe on their opening page. You know, Amazon Prime may be a lot of things, tax evaders, lots of things. But one thing is for sure, Amazon Prime just decided all cinema is equal in the eyes of God. And when it ensured, the algorithm placed films with absolute abandon in difficult to read little rectangular tiles in the knowledge that in this unintelligible presentation, all film is equal in the eyes of someone just wanting to watch something. So, much like the dedicated fan of an actor who only gets minor roles, Amazon Prime is dedicated to almost religiously scooping up the flops from your favorite actors and boasting them alongside their better films. So, for example, have you seen Jennifer Garner in Elektra? Have you seen Hayden Christensen in Jumper? How about Eddie Redmayne and Sean Bean in the 2014 film The Black Death? Good news.
Oh my God.
Amazon Prime has them all. And you know what? Any streaming service, right, for example, has John Wick or The Matrix, but only Amazon Prime is bold enough, nay, brave enough, to feature Keanu Reeves' films that didn't make it big. Like 1995's Walk in the Clouds, or 1997's The Last Time I Committed Suicide, or 2008's Street Kings. Because for Amazon Prime, aka the true equalizer of cinema, it's
Oh my God,
I'm losing it.
It's the Karl Marx of streaming services doing away with elitist classism, one B grade film at a time. Which I know is an irony given the wealth and practices of its owner, but it's still no less true.
I'm speechless.
So there you go. I hope I didn't shock you with the truths with the tea that I served there, but it's simply the truth. And I yes. So if you have a rebuttal to that, but I doubt you will, because it's just Amazon Prime is king when it comes to B grade content.
Okay. Mary is like a real wild card tonight, because I actually didn't. I mostly like coming up with arguments that were either anti-Netflix and pro-Stan. I wasn't thinking about Amazon. I even came up with some pro-Netflix arguments, actually.
Some pro-Netflix?
Yeah, just in case, so as you mentioned about Amazon being kind of like the great equalizer that places an actor's best and worst filmography side by side with each other. I will also note just one of the pro-Netflix arguments that I thought of was Netflix buys all the leftover films that don't get bought at film festivals, that no one wants, that literally people made but no one wants. For instance, Brie Larson's directorial debut, Unicorn Store. And then just another thing, because you mentioned Keanu Reeves, I will say also that Stan has 12 titles from Keanu, and they are actually quite terrible, some bad ones. They are actually just as terrible as A Walk to Remember. In fact, they're worse. They've got Knock Knock on there. They've got Generation They've got they've got the Neon Demon.
Hey, Amazon Prime's got Neon
Prime
Demon.
would do that. Yeah, because that's an Amazon movie, actually.
Yeah. Ha! Ha! Not only does Amazon Prime had it, it made it, baby. Like, it is responsible for it.
Oh my god. It all goes back to Amazon.
It really does, unfortunately.
Amazon Prime is serving you a B-grade existence.
Okay.
I can't argue with that.
But do they have all the Sharknadoes?
They have most of them. I think they're missing...
Do they have the
Netflix has
entire
one, doesn't
Species
it?
trilogy?
The what?
Do they have the entire Species trilogy? Do they
No,
have...
but they do have the entire... They do have the entire Leprechaun franchise.
Oh my god.
Do they have... I know no one else has this. Do they have the first season of RuPaul's Drag Race? No. Which was made with, like, as we all know, with $100. No.
Yes. And like a Vaseline camera lens.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't think they have any RuPaul's Drag Race. Alas.
Yeah.
You get that one.
I get that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was considering Stan because
Do you have
that.
any miscellaneous arguments, Panda? Because I've not actually been ordering this in a correct.
No,
I've not said anything that I wanted to say in the order that I wanted to say it, but go ahead.
I'm enjoying the organic direction of this discussion.
Thank you.
And also, it's actually just, I'm such a Libra. I was just like listening to all of this and I was like, oh my I chose the wrong streaming service. I was like, you're right, Stan does have all the RuPauls. And I think the only reason why I wasn't going to go Stan was because I really didn't like the last season of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, I didn't even watch it.
Exactly. And I did, but I felt very stressed about the fact that I was watching it, but I just had to finish it. And then I was like, I don't know about this. But then I went on to watch Canada's Drag Race, and I'll probably watch the Netherlands one as well.
There's going to be a
Netherlands has Drag Race?
I'm fairly sure that they do. Oh. I feel like there was an ad for that. I think they're expanding to a lot of countries.
They just added season 2 of Drag Race Thailand, which I'm really excited to watch because Drag Race Thailand, like from the clips that I've seen, is insane.
Yeah. Someone sets fire to themselves, right? Like can't wait to see it.
As an outfit change transition.
That is how I want to re-enter the world after lockdown. But yeah.
Can I ask, like, when you guys went looking for B grade content on your inferior B grade streaming services, can I ask, did you find any like absolute bangers of B grades? Like, did you find like some absolute just amazing examples of B grade cinema and or television?
I just mentioned them.
But anything like what's the best one that you found though? The best?
I mean, I feel like Selling Sunset was the one that I hold the most close to my heart. I'm sorry.
All right.
Why? What do you think is the best?
I've got a whole list, mate.
Oh my god.
Go for it.
I know you're just asking this so that you could like play a trump card of just like something insane. Go.
You've played so many games with me. You know how that's how I play.
Yeah.
Some titles that I discovered when I did a deep dive. You've got your classic Sharknado, of course, but another one that I really liked was called Empire of Sharks. It is set in the future when global warming has caused the sea levels to rise, and now sharks
oh my god,
rule the world. And I just think that the commentary on the current direction of our planet, in that it must be incredible. Another incredible title that I found was literally called, and I quote, Big Ass Spider, 2014. Which I'm assuming it's about a big ass spider. So I've already mentioned the Leprechaun franchise, which is about a leprechaun that just murders people. Yep.
Like a tiny leprechaun?
No, he's like a normal man, but he was
Why is he a leprechaun?
I don't know. That's what you gotta watch. You gotta watch Leprechaun Origin to find that out. There's like Leprechaun. There's 4 Leprechaun movies, and then there's Leprechaun Origin. So yes, that's a film. Sure. My favorite film that I found, and I actually added this to my list because I want to watch it. I don't know if it's going to be a pro-Palestine film or not, but it's called Jerusalem with a Z, and it's about these 3 women who follow this guy to Jerusalem because they're like, oh, he's a hot doctor, and then he turns like the population of Jerusalem into zombies, and they've got to escape. So I'm like, some cinema. And then I found a lot of movies about the Bermuda Triangle, which just spoke to me because as a child, I thought the Bermuda Triangle was going to be a very huge issue in my life. And, the fact that
like
it's
quicksand.
not. Huh?
Like quicksand.
Yeah, like I just thought that the Bermuda Triangle was going to play a large role in my adult life, and now that it doesn't, I'm going to have to scratch that itch with some B grade. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, they were the best.
Is there any good Bigfoot content on there?
Oh, there's so much. I watched a documentary called Bigfoot Girl on Amazon Prime. Me and my brother watched it as a joke. And it's about this woman who had a dream that she was abducted by Bigfoot, and now she's searching for him because she thinks it's a sign that she needs to find him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Truly amazing.
People want more female-directed films. There's one for you. Bigfoot Girl.
That's a documentary, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So there you go. That was some of the highlights of my my search. Oh wait, I've got one more. Sorry, you need to hear this, okay?
Oh no.
Okay.
All right.
Go for it.
This is amazing. I'm gonna actually read you the synopsis of this. It's called Love on a Leash. And the synopsis is a woman craving love finds a homeless golden retriever who turns into a man at night.
Oh my god.
And it's a romantic comedy. So yeah, Love on a Leash.
Okay.
The name makes so much sense now.
Yeah, it's not kinky, it's just about bestiality.
I just searched the term Christmas in Stan on my phone, and here we go. So there's a Stan exclusive called Christmas Matchmakers. There's another Stan exclusive called Christmas Hero.
Oh my god.
And one called the Christmas Princess, which looks almost exactly like the Princess Switch.
Oh, shush.
And another one called Staging Christmas, another one called Check In to Christmas. And these are all Stan exclusives. And The Road Home for Christmas. And yes, they look like that one letterbox. All the posters look like they do on that one letterbox list where it's all like, red and green heterosexual people on posters. Also, The Road Home for Christmas, Looks Like Christmas, Her Magical Christmas, A Family for the Holidays, The Christmas Cure. That's almost a gift for
What's the Christmas
a song
Cure?
for Christmas.
Yeah, wait, go
12
back. What's
Days
the
Giving,
Christmas Cure?
Sister of the
The people need to know.
Let me look it up. A hardworking doctor gets the holidays off to visit her family her family. Oh, woke. But when her name comes up for a huge promotion, she is torn whether or not to leave her family again or stay at home and take over the family clinic.
The feminism of it all.
Wow.
Women that Christmas have to choose.
You speaking of Christmas reminds me of that film on Netflix, the Night Before Christmas, but it's like the night as in the night, like I night you. Is Vanessa Hudgens in it? Yes.
Yes, Mary's very excited because she took an L and actually watched that.
I do a lot for Vanessa Hudgens. We all know this, but like that movie, that was something else. Like she tricked me into thinking that it would be as good as The Princess Switch, and it wasn't. For starters, there was only one Vanessa Hudgens in the movie. Already because why?
Mary,
I'm so glad you've seen it.
Wasn't it like inevitable?
What?
Wasn't it like inevitable?
It was like inevitable.
There was a night
it's a Christmas movie, and I respect that. But
I know 3 Vanessas. Only in my wildest dreams.
It's coming though. It definitely is. Christmas is actually the domain of like so many B-grade movies that I just hadn't even thought about until you listed about 10 titles.
Also, this is not B-grade content, but Stan also has Dorothy the Dinosaur's Rockin' Christmas. So
maybe it's just the best streaming service for Christmas.
But I feel like Christmas B-grade movies are weirdly elite. Like I don't know. They're like the kind of B-grade movies that people will intentionally watch because they are B-grade Christmas movies. Like isn't Kristen Stewart making like a gay one at the moment?
That's not B-grade. That's made by Clea Duvall. It's gonna be Art House, okay?
Oh, really? A Christmas movie is gonna be Art House?
Yes, it will be.
Oh, yeah. I just looked it up and I was like, I don't know if it's going to be Art House. I'm not really
interested in how white it looks, but yeah.
I will, yes, but that's a point I will give to you, Panda, for Netflix because Netflix has the Princess Switch, which in my opinion, my humble opinion, is one of the greatest films ever made. So yeah, I have to give a point to Netflix for that one.
You take Vanessa Hudgens.
There's no Vanessa Hudgens on Amazon Prime. It's tragic.
I mean, I'm still on the fence, but I still don't really know how I came across The Night Before Christmas, but when I read the synopsis, I was like, I have to watch this. Time travel and Vanessa Hudgens is just, I don't know how to.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she doesn't time travel, though, I don't think. Does she time travel? I don't remember.
It's the guy.
No.
It's the guy.
He was very angrily complaining to me that Vanessa Hudgens was only a side character.
Yeah. I was really upset. I was sending D voice memos like Vanessa's hardly even in this movie. It's mostly about this, not like they used her to like start this dude's career, but he's not even that good.
Are there any Vanessa Hudgens films on Stan? If this is how we are judging.
Well, they used to have all the High School Musicals before Disney Plus went and snaked them all. Let's see. They have Spring Breakers, and that's it.
Yeah.
Ripperoni. Netflix has that really bad Mads Mikkelsen movie that she is in for some reason. And it's like she has like a sort of romance with Mads Mikkelsen, and it's super weird. I forget what it's called. I think it's called The Cold or something. Something vague like that. I just remember like watching that movie. I'm like, this is like truly B grade, and that I'm just disgusted.
Actually, that's good. Like Mads is B grade content.
He is actually.
Isabel is moderating this,
and Hannibal is on both Netflix
message.
and Stan.
That's true. It used to be on Prime. It used to be on Prime, but it's not on there anymore.
I would love to see like a Venn diagram of all these 3 streaming services and which ones, like which shows and movies overlap. Do they ever overlap? They do, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
they do.
I would love that infographic.
Problem is, like, anyone who had made an infographic, like, because it's different for every country, because Australia has such crappy TV rights and stuff. Like, everyone just has the same crappy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, do you know who actually really has the most B grade content? Tubi. Has anyone looked at? Okay, see, you all even heard of it, but because my mum is a B grade connoisseur, I know about this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Tubi.
Thank you, Leslie.
Yeah, my mum is a huge B grade fan. Anyway, Tubi, not to be confused with Mubi, though maybe they deliberately called themselves that for a reason. But Tubi is like, just imagine it's not just B grade, it's C grade. Like, you go onto Tubi, it's free. They don't even charge you for it because they know it's full of garbage.
Oh my god. This is a revelation.
It's just, like, just go on there and have a scroll about what they've got. I guarantee you won't even have heard of it. But can I just say, I feel like that's actually like the beautiful thing about B grades is that you have like no preconceived notions, you know? Because you see a movie title and you're like, I don't know what that is. You're just
I just looked up Tubi, and in the most popular, it's got Titanic 2, which is a movie I've never heard of.
See?
What's the plot of Titanic 2?
It can only sink once.
That's what you think.
I want to see what is the plot of Titanic 2. Here we go. A century after the fateful voyage of the original modern luxury liner Titanic 2 set sail, will this ship suffer the same fate as her namesake? Oh, so literally it's just a second Titanic, like physically.
That is just so rude. But
the boat is Titanic 2. I'm scrolling through Canopy because I know they have like award-winning cinema, but they also have like a bunch of other stuff as well. So I'm looking for there. But you keep going while I find.
I'm just like looking at Tubi, and it actually looks amazing. Like, it's got the Mr. Bean movie. It's got The Hills Have Eyes.
Mr. Bean movie is not B grade content. That is cinema.
That is true, actually. At this stage, I'm just like listing the movies that I am probably going to watch after this. And also Border Security.
Oh no.
The worst show ever.
Oh no.
Me watching Border Security as a child as they arrested all the Arabs. Oh, this is some representation. I love being represented on Australian television. There is a movie called Coming to America, not to be confused. Oh no, sorry, this is Going to America. It was made in 2013. It was like a young man comes to Los Angeles claiming to be an African prince on a quest for true love and becomes an overnight YouTube sensation.
Wow. That was such a twist. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I bet you weren't.
There is, wow. There is a movie on Tubi, and it's called Roblox Tycoon Movie by Pair of Ducks. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. That's the beauty of B grade, is that you don't know what any of it is. You know, we have no idea.
Pair of Ducks and Mr. Quackerjack are starting their own theme park in Roblox.
And Mr. Quackerjack.
These funny moments show their adventure as they try to beat the simulator, but something goes terribly wrong.
Beat the simulator? What? What?
Well, it knows. I have no idea what that's about, and I'm kind of into it.
All right, guys. Do we have any closing statements? About B grade cinema or your streaming service?
I don't know. For the sake of backing streaming service, like, I think it was just fun, like, pretending that I cared this much.
I agree.
In terms of, like, B grade content and what is considered B grade content, I have a lot of thoughts, but I could talk for a bit too long about that. I don't know. Just anything that's, like, my fave that people think is B grade, like, I hate you. That's all I have to say.
I think.
Does anyone have like any last like recommendations that they want to give as well?
What were you gonna say, Panda?
Oh, I mean, all I was gonna say was that I realized that the Vanessa Hudgens rating scale, a rating system for B grade streaming services, is one that I will probably use going forward. And yeah, I don't know if I have any recommendations, but I would love it if more people watched Selling Sunset and, as an inferior version, $1 Million Beach House, because I need more people to watch these shows so I can talk about them with these people.
Totally fair. Yes, my closing statements are, as I said at the beginning, I do believe that the only difference between B grade cinema and mainstream cinema is marketing. I do think that most mainstream films are actually B grade films, but they have A grade marketing, so that's why they are considered A grade. I do believe that Amazon Prime has the most B grade content, but because they present it alongside their A grade content, they're just the great equalizer, the Karl Marx of streaming service, like getting rid of them. And I do think that, as someone who is a huge fan of the treasure hunting adventures genre, okay, I know how vital B grade is to genre, like to genre fiction specifically. So I will never ever like insult B grade cinema as a whole, because if we didn't have B grade cinema, we wouldn't have my favorite treasure hunting movie or one of my favorite treasure hunting movies of all time, which is The Librarian, which spawned a whole TV series. So, never underestimate a B grade. And I wanted to mention something actually. No, the whole era of blaxploitation films where like black filmmakers were making heaps of ripoffs of like white films. Like that was all meant to be B grade. So like actual important movements have come out of B grade cinema. But yeah, so don't diss B grade cinema, but do diss C grade cinema. C grade cinema, I don't know what that is. It's like those YouTube videos of primary school kids reenacting Of Mice and Men for assignments. That's C grade cinema.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, I guess there's a lot of LGBT cinema that is considered B grade. And just on a serious note, just like remember it's only B grade because no one wants to give money to LGBT creators. And you should start actually doing that so that we can hopefully I don't know, surpass you guys. I mean, I think we have surpassed you guys, but anyway, we don't need the money to do that, but it would be nice.
Should we wrap up by just saying like what we're doing at the festival, or
Yeah, sure.
yeah?
Cool.
So Panda, what are you up to at NYWF?
So the other event I'm doing is Apocalyptic Sourdough. I'll be talking to some artists after they've made a meal, and we'll be talking about the importance of food to them, especially during now. So that's
Oh my
something
god, I
to
love
look
the
forward
sound
to.
of that. That sounds so
That-
nice.
That sounds
And
so
like
awesome.
wholesome.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what people cook. It will be like I love cooking shows, so it'll be kind of like being in a cooking show that I'm in. So I'm very excited. What about you two?
Yeah, you go, dear.
Oh no, we're on a panel just for podcasters, and I guess we're going to talk about how there's so many podcasts and how to make yours stand out. The answer is we're really niche. But yeah, what else were you on, Mary?
That's it. I'm only on that one with you.
Cool. Okay. Did you have any like work or like social media stuff that you wanted to promote, Panda?
I'm like, what am I working on? Well, my Instagram is Queen Super Chill, which is named after. Oh wait, no, it's not. Oh my gosh, I just said my old Instagram handle because I was thinking the other day about how good that handle was.
It is a good handle.
It's the name of this staffy in the UK that got adopted by this man, and it was in the news because he spends like £20,000 a year on it, but he just buys it like goggles and like cars and stuff to drive around in.
Oh my gosh.
So that's the origin story of the handle that is not my handle. I'm sorry, but my new handle is washed up _ retail superstar, because until the lockdown, that is my day job. So if anyone wants to follow me there, that's where I put my work, but it's also where I put pictures of my dog. So one or the other.
Amazing.
Love that.
Oh, you're like the first result when you search up washed up.
There's not that many washed ups.
Alrighty, well, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yes. Thank you for joining us for this very special episode of GayV Club, Panda. For GayV Club, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/GayV Club. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at GayV_club. And you can find our Mary's and I's individual socials through there as well.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Also, I think by the time that we drop this, we're going to be having new episodes out.
Yes, we will be.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 weeks from when this episode drops, we will have something for you. Okay.
Yes. Alrighty. Awesome.
Thanks so much. It's been so nice.
Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you, Panda.
And
I
thank
won.
you to
Just
the
so
National Young
everyone
Writers
knows.
Festival, and thank you to Isabel for helping us.
Yes,
with
thank
this
you, Isabel.
event.
Thank you, Isabel.